Everything just try and break my momentum all the time, every single time. Alright, let's do this, guys. Gonna be kicking off to the top left-hand side of Frost. The blue Protoss player representing True Esports. Let's hear it if you're cheering on Verdi, aka Rail. Down to the bottom left is going to be our teal Terran player. Let's hear it, guys. You're going to be cheering on Major. Again, guys, what's up? How are we all doing? Welcome to the stream. As you're watching the SC2 Improved Team League Season 6 quarter-finals. We should have the Team League wrapped up in the next couple of weeks. We've got, again, the rest of the quarter-finals on Tuesday. We're hoping for the semi-finals on Wednesday. And we're hoping to have the grand finals just a few days after that, hopefully. Fingers crossed that it's going to work out and we get it wrapped up nice and quickly so that at the start of July, we can start up the qualifiers for Season 7 of the SC2 ITL once again. So, as we set up into this, obviously Major is from Invasion Esports. Let me just put a title on because I can't stand him not being called something proper here. Like, I just can't deal with it. Let me just fix this, guys. There we go. There we go. That should work, shouldn't it? Major, just so you guys know who he is. Because I appreciate it can be a little bit annoying if you don't know who it is and stuff like that. So there you go. Major versus Verdi TVP. And again, I mean, both these teams finishing second place / third place in the groups. But I would say it's kind of very, I think Group A was very... It's kind of tough to say because Group A was very difficult. There was a lot of good teams in there and they really dominated all the other teams. But there was only ever 4 teams in Group A who looked as though they were ever going to make the playoffs. So, it's kind of great that True Esports made the playoffs in 3rd place over 4th place. But what's more impressive, them making it just through the group as kind of expected. Or Invasion Esports making it through the group as expected, but in a group that was very close, where a lot of the other teams really showed a lot of competition. And, one more loss for Invasion Esports, and they might not have made it into the playoffs here. They might have been just knocked out if they lost one more match. It was that close. Whereas, True Esports had a lot of kind of leeway. They could have lost a couple more matches, and they probably still would have made it through a map score. So, it really is one of those... tough things to call, who had the harder run so far. I mean, impressive results from True Esports in the, I think True Esports lost against Euronics Gaming, and I think they lost against Liquid, but they did beat Millennium. So they beat Millennium. Invasion Esports, I don't really remember who. Invasion lost to a few teams along the way. I think they lost to Root. I think they lost to a couple of teams here and there, but again, it's, I think both teams are actually fairly evenly matched. Both have a lot of strong players. Invasion have Lambo and Harstom and Major, and Acheron is a strong player as well. I mean, True Esports, they have E-Laser and Verdi. They don't have BCQD any longer, but they still have a very strong sort of group of players anyway, so... We'll see how this is going to go. We'll see who's going to get their team off to a fantastic start. Major's already picked up a couple of all kills this season, if I'm not mistaken. And has been a big part of Invasion Esports' success here in this season of the SC2 ITL, bringing them home a lot of map victories and hence a lot of match wins. As we're going to see, Verdi has been all-killing as well. I believe he came out, he all-killed against Nuit Blanche early in this season. He's also been a fairly key player and one of the most frequent players for True Esports throughout the regular season. I see that Blink upgrade starting on up here. A couple of Hellions out the front from Major. So a couple of Hellions early to scout and try and run by. Hit a couple of workers and he's going to get right into this mineral line. He's going to start working his way against this. So Probe's actually going to start taking some damage as they stack up a little bit here. And Verdi is already losing 3 workers and more damage being done. 4 workers now killed and up to 5. Major's first 2 workers, often an expansion as well in the 3rd CC on the way up, are doing a lot of damage. I mean, this is 6-7 workers killed. And the fact that he's got the potential to go into this fast 3rd CC. So Major gets himself off to a very strong start with a very good economic advantage. There's a couple of extra barracks start to come on down in his main base as well. So Major, off to a bit of a greedy start, but it's definitely working out for him because he's also done damage and should be in a very comfortable position now moving into the next stage of the game. As we see our Protoss player, well, he's got that Blink on the way up, a robot facility being added on, and his first extra gateways are also starting to come into play. As we have... And this STV just having a little bit of a look around. Major wants to try and see if there is a 3rd base on the way down, or whether this is going to be something a little bit more aggressive than he might have initially realized. So he's going to come in here and have a little bit of a look, sees the lack of a 3rd base for now. However, I mean, he'll probably just stick around here and just wait until, he sees some sort of sign that this is going to be taken here very, very soon, as we see that SCV just patrolling backwards and forwards. Going to see a scan into the main base. Major interest in what his opponent is getting up to. Sees the gateways just being added on, sees the Twilight, sees the Robo. And just should see, I mean, he sees 4 gateways in total before the third, so is that a little bit weird, or is that just his opponent playing safe? As we're going to see the engineering bay coming down. Major going to continue to be a little bit of a nuisance in this game, and is already looking to block this third base and stop Verdi from taking his third expansion as early as he would like to. Now, a couple of units being warped in here. Verdi will drop that third nexus down in a different location, actually, so he comes in and expands down to the south. And that's going to be interesting then, because this is much more easily attacked into by Liberators. I think Liberator range is probably going to be very abusable on this third base as well. So there's a lot of kind of negatives to kind of taking this third base out here, expanding towards the Terran player. But maybe he can make it work in his favour as well. So let's see how Verdi's going to play this out. Right now, just Stalkers with Blink. I imagine the Resonating Glaives will come up soon. We'll see that spam up towards kind of 9-10 gateways, as we see kind of a big commitment into most likely Adepts and Stalkers. So units going to start coming down south. We see it piling off to the left-hand side here from Verdi, as we have just a single Widowmine moving forwards from Major as well. And the rest of his army looking pretty good as well back at home. A couple of tanks are up. He's been adding on his extra racks. Obviously, his third base is now landed. And again, he's had a very strong economy so far, so he's going to already have a lot of workers to transfer over there to begin saturating that base. Triple meal for all this time as well. Obviously, gives him that little bit of an extra economy boost. And so Major, I think, is looking pretty good for him so far, as we see just an SCV, or maybe that was just the Engineering Bay going down there. So Engineering Bay again taken down finally. And again, as we mentioned before, Resonating Glaives on the way up, getting really ready to go into a big sort of Stalker Adept ball here in the near future. So we're going to see this single Stalker just moving around, going to change direction, go towards the left-hand side now. So coming in over towards the left-hand side, Verdi can actually find himself a Marine to pick off here straight away. So Marine goes down, and again, just clean out some of the map control of his opponent. Also send the Stalker around, checking for maybe extra bases, or maybe just looking to harass from the high ground here onto this base, as we see. And again, his own third is again set up and ready to go now. Major about to hit into kind of stim pack and so on, obviously with a very fast third CC. This has not been a kind of a super fast stim and all of this for him just yet. And we're going to see the pylon going down. And these units just collecting together, and we see another scan from Major, just identifying the third bases over here, having a little bit of a look to see what he can spot. As we're going to have that Resonating Glaive is about to finish. The +1 going to be finishing very soon as well. The Wall Prism here is actually taking quite a bit of damage. I'm not sure what exactly it took damage to. It looks as though sort of looks like he got hit by a Widowmine or something. But it is being pushed away to the right-hand side, so Major able to deflect that for now. As you will see, Combat Shields finishing up here very, very shortly. Some more Stalkers collecting together, Adepts and Sentries too. So a lot of units just collecting together here on this third base. Still no third base gas is taken yet by Verdi. So looking as though he might be kind of very aggressive with this kind of gateway army, as he actually blinks forward, takes down a Medivac. Going to keep on fighting here, but the Stalkers are fighting on their own for quite some time, which is obviously painful. Nice single force field, helping to block off a few more units, but some good pickoffs here by Verdi. The Medivac and quite a lot of the Bio Ben taken down as well. Did cost him quite a few Stalkers. 7 Stalkers falling in what was more or less kind of one of the first engagements of the game, really. I mean, before now, we've only just really seen a couple of Hellions kind of harassing, and that's been about it. You know, there's not really been a lot less, besides that. As we're going to see this group of units just collecting together up on the left-hand side, we're going to see this Medivac going to come across, and it's going to be dropping in towards the third base in just a couple of moments. So Medivac going to be starting to unload in towards the third, as we see some probes going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Depends how quickly he pulls away. So he just pull away pretty quickly. Ooh, is that Sentry going to survive? I think Sentry... Oh no, actually is just a few probes and a Stalker that goes down in the end. Not the end of the world, as Verdi going to try and put his Warp Prism back into action, but gets intercepted immediately. Major holding that Southern Watchtower is able to see that coming across here. Verdi not being very safe about this, as we see him, well, just still massing up on this kind of Gateway Immortal Force. +1 armor on the way in now. Major isn't kind of in a super great position in terms of upgrades. He's only got +1 attack, +2, +1 is now on the way for him. So he'll take a, he'll kind of keep kind of an attack upgrade lead for himself here in the near future. But for the most part, it's somewhat even in the upgrades, as we see Major, though, just so far ahead in supplies. We see him loading up, and he's going to start dropping. And that's something we haven't really seen from him. He scans, he takes down the Observer. This was therefore seen by the Observers, so is that something Verdi's reacting to? It looks as though it is. He's sending his Stalkers off to the left-hand side, a couple of force fields out towards the centers. Is he going to be able to blink on top of these? Or is it going to be so close? He's trying to catch them, like, out of position before they get to his natural, but he's not quite able to make it there. Phone overcharges have to come down, and well, Medivac's going to start taking some damage. Another overcharge. One Medivac goes down already. They start to unload in the main. Major is moving with another set of units up to the top side of the map, and maybe going to look to try and attack through this in some way in the near future, as we see again Stalkers looking to fight, and well, not really having the best of times on their own. Again, Stalkers on their own. Just need to be a little bit careful when trying to go up against bio units like this. There's a lot of Marauders in that drop. We're going to see one last blink to clean things up. Major letting his macro slip slightly right now. A lot of minerals in the bank as he starts out on Liberators, and well, here comes the Liberator in towards that third base straight away. Here, we're going to see him just cleaning up that quite quickly though. Only one Stalker really killed off as we see another couple of medevacs into the main base. A few units left on that potential fourth as well. As we're going to see once again, Verdi going to have to start reacting to this drop-based play. As we're going to see 8, 9, 10 workers being picked off here. The Robo facility being targeted down as well. Big damage being done by Major. As we're going to see these extra few Adepts coming in to try and help clean out. There's the medevacs lifting and leaving though. And again, Major is continuing to control the pace of the game so far. He's the player who's kind of all over the map, and he's the one dropping. He's the one that's cleaned up his opponent's prism out on the map. You know, he's shutting down everything his opponent's doing, and Verdi's just sort of taking damage time after time after time. So this is really, so far, not looking very pretty for our pros player and for True Esports in game number 1 of this best of 7. I mean, you look back home and obviously you can see Major set up with more Liberators, tanks. He's got a lot of bio as well. The mining count is very good. Major's army looks very, very good when you actually pull back over here, and he's still got them drops on the map as well. He's once again going to find a way into towards the natural now, where he's just not, you know, he's not going to be attacked on his way in. Storm's going to start blinking back. Those overcharges popped on one of these pylons. We'll see just another lift and another leave. Major's going to keep him, you know, again, keep his opponent moving around. At the same time, he's in here with a Liberated being a little bit annoying. Actually unsiege that, and does he get it away? I think he does over the ledge here, so he's able to get that one away. As I mean, Major set up to 4 bases. I mean, that's something which Rail has not really thought about just yet. The lack of a 4th base, something he either needs to start addressing sometime soon. Upgrades going to even up though, at least. There's going to be 2 1 upgrades apiece, plus 2 on the attack, that is. And Psystorm's starting to come up for Rail as well, so I mean, if there's one way you can definitely try and come back, well, Storm's going to help, but here's the thing, as the Liberator count gets higher and higher for Major, what is Verdi doing to realistically defend against this? You know, do we see anything like, you know, do we see anything like, you know, do we see kind of, you know, Tempest come into play? Do we see the anti-air we need to see from Verdi to really protect against this? As we see these Liberators and the rest of the army jumping around the left-hand side, and I mean, he's going to start sieging up over here. We're going to see a stim in. And I mean, these Stalkers starting to go down. That Pylon going to fall in a moment or two as well. As Adepts, they're going to commit. They're going to go for this. Bio's just going to pull backwards, though. The Widowmine's going to have the time of their lives. A lot of the Adepts cleaned up already. And Verdi realizes he just does not have enough to keep on fighting here. Major is going to take game number 1. And he's going to put Invasion Esports off to 1. Now it's going to be Major versus Guru, as True Esports are looking for a way back into this series. Let's see if they can find it with the green Zerg player. To the bottom left-hand side of the map, it is Guru. And down to the bottom right-hand side, our red Terran player is from Invasion Esports. It's Major. And as we set up into Game 2 of this best of 7 all-kill series, quarterfinals of the 2000 Euro SC2I Team League Season 6. Big match here. Winners play against either Team Liquid or Cascade in the semi-finals. True Esports, they got 4-1 by Team Liquid in the earlier stages of the tournament. I think Invasion Esports actually lost out to Cascade. Cascade have been very strong this season and definitely shouldn't count them out against Team Liquid. I mean, Team Liquid's reigning champions, coming back to try and win twice in a row. But you can't count out a team like Cascade, who have done so well to make it to the playoffs and have really, you know, just shown us that they can compete with a lot of the best players. So, a couple of people asking in the chat what league these guys are in. I mean, these guys are the best of the best. I mean, these are WCS Premier League players. You know, these are the best in Europe, and you know, in the quarterfinals we don't have much less than that. Teams like Liquid, Millennium, Invasion, Root, you know, all these teams in the Team League in the quarterfinals. And this is where it gets serious. This is where it gets pretty tough. This is where it all comes down to this, you know. So we did just see early on here an SCV moving across the map from Major. We have seen a free hatch from Guru, and he's just going to go hatch pull hatch basically. So nice quick free hatcheries off of a gas as well. So he's got gas, just putting his yeah, it's a bit of a later gas. His gas came down after the 3rd hatch, so just to see how this sort of turns out for him, see what he's going to be going into in the next few minutes as this SCV just scouting over here, having a little bit of a look to see what's going on, sees that there is a pool and a gas, and he might check the 3rd hatchery on his way out when he starts getting chased away by a couple of Zerglings in the near future. So this SCV just going to be moving away very soon, I imagine. As we see the Reaper starting to hop up here as well. So Reaper coming straight on in, just looking to immediately get into, down to business and start harassing. There's one drone in the back, does not manage to make a Spore Crawler in time, so a little bit of miscontrol there by Guru, doesn't quite save that, and Reaper already getting a little bit of damage done. Last time around the Reaper killed a couple of workers. Let's see how many he can get this time. Obviously different matchup, different defense, different ways to defend this. And we'll see the Queens popping out, and that'll be enough to kind of push the Reaper back for now. Major not checking the third hatchery just yet. May just assume it based on the sort of kind of gas timing that he saw already from his opponent. And as we're just going to have the Reaper here just looking to see what is going on against this Queen, as we have Reaper just backing off a little bit. Hellions on the way now, so we're going to see Major's kind of tech this in this TVZ is going to be to go in towards Hellions very early on. Marine at the front is actually looking to try and take down an Overlord now. Zerglings are starting to move out. Link speed not done just yet, but Reaper is going to try and protect that Marine, as I'm pretty sure that's what the Zerglings are most likely wanting to head towards, trying to save the Overlord, you know. So let's see if he can save it. I mean, the Overlord's getting very low, only has a few hits to go before it dies. Hellion coming forward as well, and actually I think he's going to save the Marine, and I think this Overlord's going to die. So nice little play early on by Major. He's going to come out. He is going to kill that Overlord. As you see, the Reaper has actually gone up to 3 kills total. Does go down to the Queen on the third base. As the Marine just comes over and will just try and finish this off. Is it going to get up to the high ground? No, it doesn't. So Guru losing an early Overlord here, and actually hits a heavy supply block from that. Hasn't started another Overlord just yet, so maybe just wasn't expecting to actually end up losing it there. As we're going to see. The Marine just coming back over to the right hand side. These 4 Hellions moving forwards and just looking to see what they can get up to. They hit onto a few of the Zerglings there already. These Hellions just going to run by, and actually they're going to hit this natural mineral line. We'll see a couple of Lings already under pretty heavy fire here, and well, actually I mean it's just the drones which he's targeting, so Major looking for some good drone kills, and well, 4 workers is not really that many considering the fact that now Major loses a lot of his initial map control that he gains with going into Hellions and so on. 4 workers isn't that many, as we do see him though scouting the lair, and that'll give him some very good information. This is very likely to be something like a very fast Spire play as a follow-up. Maybe a Nidus could actually be very effective, but there's no Roach Roar or anything to kind of get a Nidus out with. To kind of, utilize or synergize with a Nidus network, because we're actually going to see reactive Liberators coming in here. So Zerglings going to stream forward, see what they can do. They're going to pick off 1 SCV building the 3rd command center, and that's about it. And well, another 4 drones going down. As the first Liberator actually already over the map, and I mean, no Spore Crawler in position just yet. Again, the Spire is on the way, so that's what Major's preparing for by reactoring out Liberators. So he's preparing for this. Still more Hellions on the way out, and Guru, is he going to have enough to hold on? Because right now he's taking a lot of damage time after time, and well, I'm not sure if he's comfortable to hold on here right now, as we see 4 Hellions going in towards the 3rd base. Already a few Lings once again just getting roasted to begin with. No drones going down just yet. Guru will again start to kind of defend and deflect. It looks as though he's going to be able to clean up a lot more easily than we initially thought. As Liberator actually goes up to 7 kills now, going to reposition. Still no actual Spore Crawler on the natural expansion here, as these Queens are going to come in. They will be able to push that away. So the Liberator going to now try and take position on the 3rd base instead. Just keeps on switching positions, keeps on switching up where he's going to be sitting here. So Liberator sets up onto the 3rd. We're going to see a drone getting taken down, and another Queen coming in just to help clean that up now. Liberator falls, and that is going to be that, as we're going to see these drones coming in as well once again. So drones coming in once again, just working his way through the minerals on the 3rd hatchery now. First minerals are on the way up, but again, more Liberators coming out, and we're actually going to see Major. He's going to go for a mech, a Sky Terran mech sort of, Sky Terran mechy sort of playstyle. He's actually going to go into, so it kind of makes a lot of sense now that he's continuing to build Hellions. He's going to go into this kind of mass Liberator Banshee Hellion sort of play. Something we've been seeing more and more of out of Terran players lately, so let's see how this works out for Majors. I mean, he's gone off to a good start with a lot of workers being killed throughout, and well, once again now we're going to see a single meter coming in to try and help out against these Hellions, but there's not really that much damage the Liberators do on siege, and Hellions going to act as enough of a distraction for the, just for the Liberators to kind of have time to back away and stay safe against these Queens, which were initially coming to kill them. 8 workers killed as well, so again, Guru taking some heavy worker damage throughout in the early stages. And as he moves across the map with these Mutalisks, he's going to realize very quickly, not exactly what this is he's playing against if he hasn't already. He's going to start to realize what's going on, and as he sees that, he'll know kind of what he's got to do. And let's see if these mutants can get some damage done himself. I mean, it'd be nice if he could pick off a few workers coming in towards the 3rd base. Looks like he'll get 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got a couple of Lings here as well, so he's going to end up with, well, okay, only just 3 workers in the end. 2 get very low. As the Liberators coming in, they're going to be very good at dealing with Mutalisks, so Guru has to back away from that situation. He's already switched into roaches though, which is generally considered to be one of the better ways to deal with this kind of sky toss play. Go into kind of corruptor roach, and then you use the roaches for run-bys while everything else is going on, as we're going to see these. He's just going to take down these rocks here and look to just sort of stop his opponent from kind of coming in towards his bases again with any more Hellions anywhere in the near future. Now, that's going to make an interesting choice as to where he takes his 4th base, and it looks like he's going to take it on these rocks down here. So, he's just going to be taking down these rocks, and yeah, take down these rocks, make some space, and just take the hatchery in this location, I imagine. Instead of the kind of hatchery up here, which is more generally taken because it's a lot harder for the Terran to sort of push into that location than it is through the bottom side of the map. So, see if he Hellbats morphing in on the center, and just going to be seeing these Liberators coming in overhead as well, trying to see what he can get up to. Scan coming down, a couple of Creep Tumors already taken a little bit of damage. Roaches continue to come out, the first Corruptors on the way as well. I mean, you got to kind of look at this and just question, how are you going to fight against this amount of Liberators? Obviously, at some point, in fact, right now, we see Banshees starting up, and we'll probably see Hyperflight Rotors coming in soon at Banshee speed to help with harassment around the map and so on, as Guru trying to clean out these rocks towards the front. Queen's coming in, trying to push those Liberators away as well, and they are going to be pushed away to the right-hand side, so Liberators going to be pushed back as Roach is counter-attacking here now. The Banshees, that's where they're going to come in very useful. They'll help a lot against these Roaches, and of course Liberators can siege up as well to help in any kind of defensive situation, as we're going to see him just starting to kind of fight with these Hellbats. We're going to see the Liberators setting up behind, kind of force the Roaches to kind of kite forwards into the Banshees, into the Hellbats. Of course, that's not ideal, although that being said, Mirror's coming in, he's going to try and fight against the Liberators. Well, that's not going to be successful at all, as Roach is now going to go up the ramp in towards the 3rd base. Going to look to try and pick up a few more SCVs. As Major is looking very good here already in game number 2 of this best of 7. I mean, we're looking at this and he's just shutting down everything of his opponent. These Roaches aren't doing very much. 4 workers killed for all of this army. It's not efficient, it's not effective at all, and you got to look at this as well. Now your Guru has opened himself to a huge counterattack because there's just so much available for the Major, and he just hasn't lost anything while he's killed so much here. Resources lost, I dare look at it. It's 5.9k to 4k, so already kind of 10 minutes in this game. It's a lot of extra resources lost by a Zerg player compared to the Terran. And considering the Terran player has been harassing throughout, has been doing a lot of economic damage, the Zerg economy hasn't been fantastic as well, so he definitely can't really afford to have been trading as inefficiently as he has been, more or less. Just going to be seeing the rocks off to this side are going to be targeted down here. So rocks off to the side are going to start going down. I'm going to get picked off here in the next few moments. We're going to see Command Center already moving on into position. Guru seems to be quite happy on this 4th base right now for himself as he goes into his +2 missile upgrades. Going into that muscular augments as well. Looks as though he will go in towards some Hydras to try and help himself out against this Sky Terran playstyle. As the Hellion's going to come up towards the top left. He's not going to find any drones here though. That base acting as a 5th base doesn't have any real saturation on it just yet, as we have. Hellion's going to be able to walk all the way forward towards the 3rd, but it's not going to happen. Roach is in position. He's going to turn that way very quickly as Hydra's starting to come up on the production tab. A squad of Banshees start to head out towards the top side of the map, so they're going to come along the top side and across in towards that 5th base. And they'll probably kill that off. There doesn't look to be very much anti-air around that can really deal with 5 Banshees right there just yet. I guess there's Corruptors and so on though, but I mean, how in position are they going to be? Are they going to be there in time to protect from the Banshees? Is there an Overseer ready? And it's the sort of questions we've got to kind of look at from Guru's point of view right now. We're just going to be seeing these drones just mining away, and again, creep just starting to kind of spread through the center. You're going to see an Overlord being picked off here, and again, just a little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there. As then Banshees come in, and well, again, this base is not going to be, it's not really long for this world, and we do see a few units moving in position, some Mutas and some Hydras. Can he pick up some kills from this? Well, there's the lack of an Overseer to answer our question. No Overseer, no kills. And so the Banshees are going to be able to get away, pulling away over to the right-hand side now, as we see a few Hellions in the center of the map as well. Looking to just clean up some creep spread here or there. We're just going to try and counter-attack into towards the 3rd base. Looks as though Major is kind of picking up on this already, as we realize that these units are making their way through them rocks. So it looks as though he should, or feels as though he should be prepared, but actually he's just going to wait for his Banshees to come back. So it's going to be a little while here where he's not actually got anything to defend with, and we're actually going to see these Roaches taking some pretty good trades. A few SCs going down, getting rid of a lot of Hellions. Roach is going to get away as well. No Hyperflight Rotors yet, so that Banshee speed isn't there. And so they're not going to be able to keep up with them Roaches. And so the Roach is going to get away off to the left side. So some good damage by Guru, who's definitely kind of keeping himself in this game for now. Something which a few minutes ago definitely didn't look as though it was going to be a possibility. I mean, Major was killing off everything. He was trading so well. Now Guru, you can see he's gone from kind of a 2k resources loss difference just to 1k. And so it's definitely been a better few moments from Guru than it has been from Major, as we see this attack coming over to the right hand side. You all remember here there is going to be those Vipers as well to try and help out. The Parasite bombs onto this army could be huge, as we're going to see these Roaches and Hydras try and push through the front. Not really going to be able to though. And this is the power of Ruins of Endian. It's so difficult to attack into kind of a 4-base player, because there's so few kind of entrance points in the the choke points are so easy to kind of block off, because they are all choke points entering the 4 bases, as we're going to see a couple of Abducts coming down, just killing off a couple of Liberators here. We're going to see a few more units starting to go down as we see Parasite Bomb coming in. Not really the best Parasite Bomb, not really touching too many of those other Liberators until he sieges up there. We're just going to be seeing these Roaches and Hydras continue to push on through this, and well, Viper's going to abduct forwards another Viking. The Vikings actually doing a pretty good job of working their way through a whole bunch of these Corruptors. So again, interesting scenarios. We're going to see a few mules getting picked up as soon as they come down. Guru just continue to try and pressure. He uses a few units in the back to just try and pick up a few more SCVs as he pulls the rest of his army away. Again, those Liberators continue to come forwards, but even the Abduct this time isn't really enough, as he actually struggles to kill that one Liberator off still towards the very end of this. Now this base up here, that's going to be found, and that's something which Guru should be able to get rid of fairly easily. Let's see if Major is going to make any big move towards protecting it. A lot of SCVs going down to this side, a lot more running in towards these Roaches, as the Banshees, yes, they're going to clean them up, but still some damage being done. 20 workers just lost here in Major. Actually starting to look like he's in a little bit of trouble here in game number 2. I mean, his money is low. He's still got a very strong army, but it feels as though the last few minutes has really been Guru starting to control this game, and really Guru kind of making a bit of a comeback. Look at that, from 2k resources lost down, he's now dead even. And so Major has definitely not been taking the better trades recently, as he just lost 22 workers as well, so his economy's just taken a big hit. Intrigued that he's never actually looked around with these Liberators to try and find an Overlord or a couple of Overlords that are just positioned off to the sides. As we see a few Changelings just moving around as well. Banshee hit squad goes back up towards this top left base, and again 5 Banshees very difficult to fight against. You need a lot more than just one Spore to really be able to fight that, as we're going to see. Starting to push through, going to keep on pushing through. We're going to see the Vipers looking for an opportunity to abduct, maybe looking to try and take some efficient trades, as these Banshees do kill off quite effectively down here. That just changes down to this side, as we see just Major continue to kind of reposition Corruptors and everything coming in. And actually, is there enough to fight here against the Liberators? I don't think so. I think there's a lot of roasting going on as Zerg players take some heavy hits. Now again, Guru is the player of the bank, so he can rebuild quite a lot more easily than his opponent, but he's just lost his 3rd base. And wow, all of a sudden Guru has taken some heavy damage. I mean, these Banshees just doing so much. The Hydra Den's about to go down. I mean, Guru has to come back home. He has to deal with these Banshees, but with Hyperflight Rotors, it's going to be very difficult to keep track of them, can keep up with them. All of a sudden, Guru finds himself on just 3 mining bases. He puts down his 3rd base once again, and he will have to try and re-expand towards this upper left side. Now, he does have the minerals to do that. As you're going to see, the Banshees are going to start being found, and they're going to be kind of cornered in off to this left-hand side, so eventually they're going to get chased down. There's not really a lot of ways out for them. Again, they do have that little bit of a speed upgrade, though, which is helping. Nice abduct on the Viper just to help pick one of them off and stop this kind of a crazy kind of chase which is going on. I'm just going to come in and again just try and see a little bit here, a little bit there. Queens started to be added on by Guru as well. I kind of like that. Unless they're just his injecting Queens that he's pulled off the lines. I mean, Queens are actually really kind of going to be very useful. Transfuse is going to be very good against this sort of army, and keeping his kind of important units alive. And that extra little bit of anti-air could actually go quite a long way. It can be surprising how much an extra little bit of anti-air does go. As we're going to see, well, I mean, Major also needs a new base. He's running out of base options. He's not running out of base options, but he's running out of money on his current bases. And I mean, he kind of has to take this base here unless he tries to hold the gold, which could work. But he has to try and focus on kind of protecting his upper right-hand side of the map now, as we see a lot of Liberators just sieging up here. Not sure how I feel about this. Sort of feels as though that Hydras coming in have very easy access to these units, as we see. Guru just setting up a bunch of Spore Crawlers to the top left-hand side base. Again, he really doesn't want to let Banshees also do that sort of damage which has already been done here. He doesn't want that to happen again. So Guru just going to take all precautions and add on that static defense. We expanding to the top left as well. That 5th base, which has been denied now a couple of times, is on the way back up, as the Roaches very nearly actually make it into this base to try and deny this from coming down. You see some Hellions heading towards this upper left-hand side, and well, there might be Spore Crawlers here, but guess what? There isn't anything to deal with the Hellbats. Interestingly, he does morph into Hellbats, because actually now that buys his opponent a little bit more time, and the Roaches going to start coming in. Looks like these Hellbats actually might not do as much as it looked as though they would. As these Banshees still off towards the third, the natural expansion. Transfuse is coming down. He's going to pick off one. Not quite a second Banshees, it's still cloaked up, so 7 more workers falling. Guru continue to take a little bit of damage here or there. Finally, we'll see him picking off these last couple of Banshees, so Guru cleaning that up. And again, Guru is staying maxed out throughout this, whereas we are slowly but surely seeing major supply drop begin to decrease. He was on, he was on 160, 170 before, now he's trailing down at 150. And it's not like there's much money in the bank for him either, as we see him just set up into this very, very kind of lengthy Liberator siege line. That means the Liberators are very spread out and might make it very easy for an attack in here from our Zerg players. He thinks about moving in there, but a few Hydras already getting targeted down. When you get one shot by the Liberators, you have to be very, very cautious about where you commit into a fight from. It looks as though we might see Guru trying to attack through the south side now, something we haven't really seen from either player this game. Both sets of rocks on the south side of Ruins of Endian are still intact, so this could go a couple of different ways right now as we see these Roaches and Hydras start to take these rocks down, start to get set up into this position. We'll keep attacking through this south side and going to be trying to take down these rocks in the next couple of moves as well. Corruptor's coming forwards, and I'm going to find an orbital plan trying to get into position here onto this base. Obviously, it gives his opponent a little bit of a pre-warning that this attack is coming into this sort of location. This planetary fortress is going to do quite a bit of work, but Blinding Cloud comes down. I actually like the abducts there on the Liberators, just getting them out of siege mode and just allowing him to keep on fighting here, although Guru's still sitting in a few Liberator zones. He needs to be a little bit careful about that as he keeps on kind of abducting in. Guru actually dropping down in supply now over his opponent. He kills off the 4th base. That drop in supply might hurt, as we're going to see these Queens. They need the Spore Crawler to help them out. Up to the upper left-hand side, we've got Liberator denying some mining up here as well. Finally, Major is establishing a 5th base, but again, it comes at the cost of his 4th, which he'll just retake with his main base orbital. So, damage being done all over the place. Queen's transfusing, keeping this hatchery alive, not letting it go down just yet. He's determined to keep this one alive as we see them Banshees moving away, and I guess the Corruptor's going to come in just to clean out this Liberator as well, just to make sure he can kind of keep on mining from his base nice and safely. 48 drones to the 40 SCVs. This sort of scrappy stage of the game where a lot of the economy is being picked off, and both players feeling as though they can't really afford to rebuild any of their economy. There's just going to be seeing this attack coming through the south side, and again, just a little bit of a thing as to what he wants to do. Going to be tackling towards this 4th base. Now, Guru did take this 4th base early. So far has been unpunished for taking this base, and so he's mined out quite a lot of it, which is going to end up being pretty nice for him, of course. So he's already mined from here. We're going to see a counterattack coming across the map. Corruptors have to be careful about these turrets, but it is nice. He's cleaned out a lot of these turrets. One Liberator left in the back here as well. Loving that as well. Blinding Cloud on a missile turret to try and deny it a little bit, as we see the rest of the army here from Major going to move back over to the right-hand side. Guru is actually heavily down in supply now. Blind Cloud onto Planetary Forces. It's going to start falling. Being repaired up though, the SCV is being a little bit of a pain as we're going to see the units starting to come in. And actually, Guru's going to find himself in a little bit of a tough spot where he's just completely trapped. Parasitic bombs starting to come down on both Liberators and Vikings. There's a lot of splash damage coming down. Look how low so many of these air units are going. As we're going to see the Banshees, the Hydra's Corruptors going to turn around and fight, because guess what? The Vikings are just so low. It's almost a waste not to. They're going to need some heavy repairs here as these Hellbats still attacking through the south side. This base has gone down. Guru going to find a location down here to try and get a bit more damage done in. As we see again, that army over here is going to have to be repaired up. Going to cost Major quite a few minerals, but he will repair it. I mean, 1 or 2 more parasitic bombs, and that could have changed absolutely everything. It really could have. I mean, there's so many of those units are so low. As we're going to see now, Guru is starting to clean out the 3rd base of Major as well. So Guru starting to get rid of the 3rd base of his opponent here. SCVs continue to drop. This turret going to drop as well. And a few units just splitting up. He actually sees a few Liberators that he could maybe kill off from behind. That'd be really nice. I mean, at this sort of stage of the game, any sort of kill is probably going to be a good kill as the Hydra numbers continue to rise here. Looks as though for the most part we're going to see Guru kind of backing away and kind of Mage going back in towards harassment with Hellions and so on. I mean, he's really struggling for gas. He's just getting his gases set up to his top right base. That's really important for him. He's got very little gas mining over here as well. He's actually missing gas workers on one of these refineries, so that's something you really need to try and deal with, as we're going to see this Queen is going to be able to pick off that Liberator. Nice transfuse to keep it alive towards the end as well. So, all said and done so far, we're going to be seeing pretty crazy hectic game number 2. I mean, 22 minutes in, and this could still go anyone's way. The army supplies are dead even. It's Guru who has the economic advantage. But Major's starting to kind of set back up once again. A couple of Hellions going to go down. We're going to see a couple of Banshees once again coming down the bottom side to harass and try and attack into this attacking into this base, see what we can do. Is we're going to see the Hydras and the Corruptors coming forwards, Banshees. We're going to start trying to back away. Overseer was just a little bit too late to the party. And so the Banshees are going to end up escaping here with the with their lives intact. We're going to see Liberators coming into play once again, sieging up from a distance. That's where them Vipers were coming in very useful previously. Now, I'm not sure how many Vipers on the map anymore. It looks as though there's only 2. So you kind of, I feel as though them Abducts were kind of a big thing and might be worth going back into in the near future. As we're going to see the Italians starting to be worked away at. 5 workers have been killed here. 6 now, and maybe a 7th as we see the Hellions cleaned out. Okay, just going to stop on 6. Another base in the top right-hand side, an orbital which is relocated, giving Major a little bit of a boost in economy, which he really needs at this point of the game. Now, see, this little bit of attack in. I mean, you look at this and you can just sort of see, right, that this army is not really very much here from Major. He's missing a lot of Liberators, and I feel as though these Liberators which are around are going to have to be careful because, again, there's not that many of them at any point in time. As you see the Hydras coming forwards, we're looking for the kills on these Banshees. Again, the Hyperflight Rotors allowing these Banshees to continue moving away. So the Banshees are able to continue kind of kiting backwards, kiting away from this army of Guru. We're going to see the army just come through. There's a set of rocks over here now as well. These couple of turrets are getting cleaned up, and you're going to see a Banshee getting picked away at. The Liberators are going to siege up here, and, well, Roaches and Hydras just coming up to the high ground. So a few units just coming up to the high ground. We're just going to be seeing the Liberators again sieged up. As we're going to see maybe a couple of ducks coming down in the next couple of moments. Banshees coming forwards. Looks as though this base down here, which Guru is retaking, is going to go down. There's Drones in a little bit of trouble, and that could be a lot of workers killed. They're all stacked up right now. Queen's coming in to try and defend. In fact, Guru's going to pull his army back to try and keep this alive as he loses quite a few workers here. A couple of Hydras picking off in the end, and again, the Hellions going to end up going down. So still a very close game, very much so in the balance. Still going to come down to kind of one last engagement towards the very end of this here. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that Guru hasn't built more than just a couple of Vipers. 15 Vikings, 13 Liberators, and 5 Banshees is what Guru's fighting with. 30 Hydras, 15 Corruptors. I mean, again, a couple more Vipers could work absolute wonders for him right now as he replaces some of his drones, which he just lost. Major's still trying to hold his upper right base while trying to also kind of keep a lockdown on his bottom left bases, so bottom right bases. So he's trying to protect his production while he's also protecting his extra and his new economy. And that can be difficult as a Banshee squad going to find this new base of Guru, who are not going to be able to survive or keep this one alive. You can maybe go and try and pick up the Banshees though, so you can either do that or you can try and attack in towards the Liberators here. He's very scared of these Liberators. We're going to see Blind Clouds coming down. The Hydra's going to push forwards. And well, he needs to keep on getting those abducts in. We're going to see Guru losing a lot of his Hydras, but the Banshee count is starting to decrease, but this Planetary Fortress is getting a lot of damage done as well. And at the very end of this, Guru is going to lose so much. Not a good fight from him at all. And Major might have just taken a win here with this move, or with this kind of defense in this fight, because Guru's just lost a lot attacking the position. It was not a well thought out engagement. He lost a lot of Hydras running into Liberator Fire, and he lost a lot of Corruptors running into those Vikings as well. And almost a desperation move here from Guru while he's actually ahead in economy, and he's been doing so good already, you know, so far for a long time. He's been doing very well, and it just seems as though he's really been sort of out of the loop. As we're going to see a scan coming down. Creep tubers going to continue being cleaned up. There's more and more creep going to be coming down here. Liberators sieging up once again. And we're just going to be seeing the Banshees and Liberators just continue to clean out as we see some more Liberators sieging up once more. Another little pullback here from Guru, and just going to be seeing these Liberators continue to push across. And for the first time in a long time, or I think maybe in the first time in this game, Major's been aggressive with his entire army, and Guru is really starting to hurt, and there's not really a lot you can do against this anymore. Spore's trying to move into position to help out. I mean, a couple of Hydras aren't going to be that useful as we see so many Liberators. These Hydras are going to disappear in seconds if they stay in those zones. Guru's starting to drop in the work count as well, as, again, slowly but surely, he just finds a way to kind of clean up the bases of Guru, and Guru's trying to get into position he can fight him, but now he's got to fight into a Liberator line, otherwise he's going to lose his bases, so it's a tough position. We're going to see the Hydra's trying to fight, but it's just an array of dead Hydras now left on the ground. Look at all them burnt corpses. We're going to see some Spores trying to go into position, but Vikings land to try and help out, and they're going to try and help pick off some of this anti-air, the static defense, which is kind of just keeping Guru alive just for a little while longer currently. I mean, that's basically it, right? Major doesn't really have to do much more apart from just kill off these bases. Guru has really nothing left at all. Just going to be seeing these couple of Vikings here and there, just having to be just trying to keep on cleaning up these, you know, this Spore Crawler here, that Spore Crawler there. I see a scan or two coming down as Liberator's just sieging up, and again the Vikings just using, being used as kind of some air-to-ground sort of attack power now. Just helping to clean up the buildings and so on that the Liberators can't, of course, attack us. And the Liberators just sieging up, doing a bit of damage, going to go in towards this upper left base now as the Spores have just moved out of position. Banshees down to this bottom side are going to pick off another base of Guru. It's still very close in supplies here towards the very end, but it is just a heavy army supply advantage here for Majors. Hydra's going to keep on trying to fight, but they're going to go down once again. Crazy damage being done, 8 more workers being killed. Guru are going to come in, try and come in from a different direction. Well, the Banshees are going to shut them down, going to protect them Liberators. And they're going to come in and keep them alive now for a little while longer as we see the Liberators sieging up once again. And that Hydra going to get shut down from a distance as well, I think, as you can see it actually picks off a Banshee, so he's able to pick up a Banshee and just going to again see these Liberators continuing to annoy and continue to set up. Major going to take another base up here. I mean, Guru has no real sort of map control anymore, map presence, and so Major's fairly free to just expand wherever he wants to in this game. As we see some Hellions down to the bottom side picking off drones, even Hellions starting to go down to some of these even Hydra's starting to go down to some of these Hellions. We're just going to be seeing the single Banshee here trying to save the day, and I'm just going to have to see him relocate slightly again. The Spore Crawl is the one thing for Guru right now, which is sort of keeping him in this. All of this just off the back of one very, very kind of rough engagement on this base up here. You know, it was that engagement there which really changed this from a game Guru was very much in a kind of a winning position in. Maybe not winning position, but in a position where he could have won from. That's when it all changed to a position which he now stands kind of really struggling to just kind of stay alive at all. Major takes a gold base down to the south side. I mean, we see Hellions just running by in just such high numbers that Queens can't realistically hope to kind of survive against them. Hellbat's going to come in as the Queens are surrounded. Hellbat's going to start working their way against those Queens as well. Transfuser's trying to come down. Some Hydra's coming in to help out, but again, it's just wasting Transfusers, and eventually these Queens die. Eventually everything else dies as well. As you're going to see the Hydra's continue to try and pick off here. Liberator's coming in once again, just looking to try and shut this down. More Banshees as well. Major just finding a way to try and close out this game. It's not been a very easy one to close out. As Guru taps out of a 30-minute game on Ruins of Endian. Major takes it though. Healers is going to pull them back from, well, what could be the brink of disaster. If he loses this, what do? They're going to be 0-2 down, and yeah, where do you go from there? It's going to be really, really, really difficult to kind of come back from an 0-3 situation, having lost E-Laser and Guru and Verdi. I mean, I'm sure True Esports have another player to send out, but I'm struggling to actually think who they might send out after E-Laser if they lose him. 2, the top left-hand side, our Green Zerg player, can he put True Esports onto the scoreboard? He is. E-Laser. To the bottom right is going to be our Red Terran player from Invasion Esports. Let's hear it, guys, if you're cheering on Major. And there's been a very close kind of a couple of games so far, actually, to be fair. I think actually maybe game 1 wasn't very close, but game 2 definitely was very kind of back and forth, and Guru just making one big mistake on the commitment to the fight, and it went very, very wrong for him very quickly. So we'll be seeing how this goes as we set up into game number 3 of the best of 7 right here. So just going to be seeing how things go over the next few minutes of the game. Overlord on the way out from E-Laser coming through to the center of the map. See what the openings are going to be. I mean, we just saw Major play a very kind of kind of the Sky Terran sort of play style. We'll see if he's going to play that again. But we'll see if he kind of plays that again, or if he's kind of got a different kind of strategy here on Frozen Temple. I remember casting him in Leifeng Cup a couple of weeks ago. He was playing Sky Terran a lot, on this map included. So let's see. What's my league? I'm Master League with all races on the EU server. As we see this SCV going to be chased away by a couple of Zerglings here. Just a couple of things just looking to push that SCV back, and I mean it has actually been a well, yeah, it was actually it was kind of a gas pool opening, and E-Laser is actually going to go into very fast road drawing. So actually, E-Laser at the very start of this game is going to choose to be very aggressive. So this gas pool opening is going to lead into a very fast road run, very early road run, and so a lot of Roach is going to be on the way up here very soon. Now, how is Major going to open? If he opens with a Hellion-based opening again, this will be very problematic for him, you have to imagine, because how do you really fight against Roaches with Hellions? Well, I can tell you, you just sort of don't. It doesn't really work out too well for you very often, so let's we've got to kind of see how this is going to go as we see the singular marine trying to push this overlord away off to the right hand side. So overlord being pushed away over to the right hand side here. Reaper going to come up through the center of the map. And we're just going to be seeing what Mage is going to be able to get up to here as he heads in towards the upper left hand side. I mean, the main thing for him is trying to spot these roaches starting to come out. If you can see that, it's going to give him a very good idea of what's going on. And now he does, he sees it. So he sees the roaches starting to come across, and this will definitely influence how he plays in the next few minutes of the game, whether he gets a siege tank out or what. Now, it's only been kind of 3-4 roaches from E-Laser, so looking as though it's just going to be kind of a couple of Ravagers and a little bit of pressure from our Zerg player here, more so than kind of a huge commitment to roaches. And he's just going to be doing this while moving in towards the third base as well. So kind of like a light pressure here early from E-Laser. Let's see how much damage he's going to get done. This bunker's on the way up at the front. So bunker on the way up at the front. These roaches and Ravagers starting to come over here. And now they're already going to nearly pick off an SCV. Marines will be able to jump in the bunker. That's where the corrosive bow is going to be coming in and being very useful. As right now he's able to kind of keep those SCVs off the line. And again, if nothing else, he's going to be able here to just kind of keep SCVs from mining for a while, which could be very annoying. Kicks down an SCV there. As we're going to see, oh, the SCV's coming forward. So he's actually going to try and fight against this. A couple of corrosive bows go up on the high ground to try and take down the Widowmine, which actually relocates very nicely. Takes does a little bit more damage there. Has to relocate again. Nice dodging by Mage. Not every day you see someone trying to dodge away from corrosive bows with a Widowmine. Does go down in the end though, as again, Mage has lost some mining time here. He's lost about 3 workers, and behind all of this, E-Laser just goes into his link speed as third hatchery, into kind of a very standard kind of game, as you know, very standard follow-up, as we see Reaper coming in looking for some damage, but some good control so far. E-Laser making an extractor to kind of to stop himself from losing a drone, going to make a spore just in time before it goes down there. As these roaches and Ravagers, or the roach and Ravagers, looking as though they're going to start pulling back home here now as a siege tank is up, and so it's at this point where Mage is going to be able to start being aggressive himself. And at this point, maybe a few more roaches from E-Laser could be useful to try and help push this siege tank away, and just to kind of keep it from doing too much damage in the next few minutes. So, just going to be seeing the medevac coming through the center of the map. So medevac just coming through the center of the map. Going to be looking to unload here in the near future as the Queen's coming forward. Is going to get a couple of shots off onto that medevac there. Another couple of shots there as well. And medevac going to come in once again. Tank going to drop once again. So just a little bit of damage being done. You're going to see a creep jimmer coming down, and then again creep spread just kind of moving out onto the map as Reaper comes in, and well, a couple of drones going down, so that really has been annoying, just finally fall. That siege tank's still being a bit of a nuisance, but E-Laser able to keep on trying to push it away here, and inject coming down onto the third base as we see siege tank is again just moving a little bit further forwards once again, and well, we're going to see a little bit of a better, a little bit of a larger, more committed push now as Marines coming forwards with another siege tank. Is E-Laser going to have enough to hold on? Morphs in another Ravager here. Still has them Queens to try and help out. Let's see how this is going to go, as the Overlord is actually going to, in the center, spot these Marines coming through. E-Laser hits a supply block, though, and that's actually, obviously not a great time to be supply blocked if you're about to be under attack. Pulling back, though, transfusing up his damaged Queens. Keeping his units nice and healthy for now, as Marines are actually going to start heading back home. So Marines are going to head back home. The tank's still out the front here. I'm just going to be seeing, continue to kind of see, what's going on. So just gonna see those couple of medevacs continue to look to see what's happening as the Queens again just sort of splitting up, and just waiting to keep on defending here. Now we do see a Liberator heading towards the natural, as again E-Laser's doing a very good job of defending without kind of overcommitting to units, as we see the Spore Crawler going to be good to push this Liberator away. If the Liberator tries to siege up, well, there's Ravagers nearby as well, so E-Laser is very well prepared to defend from, defend against this next kind of wave of aggression. He's just going to be seeing the another Queen kind of transfusing here, so Queen getting transfused up from E-Laser. We're going to see a single Zergling just moving along the right hand side of the map. And just again taking up some map control, comes in, sees the third base is taken from Major as well. I mean, back at home, Major is in a very standard setup here. 5 racks, factory starport, really nothing too surprising at all. So pretty standard so far, as we see Queen's starting to push on in. Medevac's taking a little bit of damage, some transfusers coming in as well. I mean, again, it's good defense by E-Laser. He's not being too, not getting too caught up in it. He's not allowing it to do very much damage, but Major's still able to kind of pressure slightly with this. So, just gonna see these couple of tanks coming in towards the 4th base, and again, I mean, he is moving in towards the 4th base, going into Infestation Pit. He's going for melee upgrades, so already looking for kind of a switch into Ultras here in the near future. So probably a couple of Infestors, and then straight into Ultras for our Zerg player in the near future, as we see these couple of tanks still doing some damage here and there. Queen's coming forwards again, looking for connections onto the onto the medevacs. Very good way to push this back, as we see actually the rest of the army starting to come forwards here. Marines going to start stimming forwards, and well, it's going to be an interesting one as we see the corrosive piles starting to drop. The tanks at the back doing some damage. Marines here don't have combat shields, something which Major is missing, and that's going to have a big effect on kind of his ability to defend, his ability to actually attack and do something. So Eliezer pushes this back fairly easily. As we're going to see the medevacs just boosting away. The Marines forgotten about here almost. Combat shields now starting up, so very late combat shields from Major. As we do see the Hive on the way from Eliezer, continuing with those melee upgrades. As we mentioned previously, looking for that fast switch into Ultras, with a couple of Infestors to kind of support the Roach Ravager army for now. A couple more tanks just loading up here. We're going to see these Marines just stimming over to the right hand side a little bit further. So a few more Marines just stimming off to the right hand side here, and a couple of Lings from Eliezer just looking to see what's going on. Just going to be trying to pick off an SCV or so at the 4th base. So Eliezer just kind of keeping a track of what's happening in the game. And well, again, you know, a lot of the hopes of Tree supposed to lie on Eliezer right now. Can they afford to go 3-0 down? Well, no, not really. They really need to try and keep themselves in this. We're going to see the tanks dropping off, and in fact, a couple of Queens at the front taking a bit of damage. Infestors have some energy though. Here we go, big Fungal to start things off. Landing on a lot of these Marines, looking to try and do more. He actually loses all of his Infestors though, so not the best control from Eliezer. Losing a lot of them Infestors, a lot of them still had energy as well. He still pushes this back. But at the same time, he's got a Liberator in his main base he has to try and come deal with. So it's a bit of an annoying situation as Eliezer completely misses the Liberator with 3 corrosive bile shots. As a little bit of an interesting scenario as whoops, tanks getting dropped off here. One of them goes down. Eliezer still hasn't dealt with that Liberator. Kind of tough to see where the where you meant to shoot it, I guess. It's a little bit of a weird situation as we're going to see him now dodging away from it the next shot. So Eliezer kind of like finally found out where to fire, and then his opponent actually starts dodging away from it. So just going to be seeing tanks kind of coming back once again. I mean, Liberator's still looking around, and well, I mean, just looking to get a bit more damage done, but with enough Ravagers on the map, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Melee upgrade's going to be finished shortly. The replacement Infestors are on the way in, as we all see that Ultra Cavern is going to be finishing soon as well. And ooh, another tank going down. So Major still attacking here, just the siege tanks. He's going to lose another one. Very, very interesting that he keeps on trying to kind of fight with just the tanks, even though his Marines are so far back. He just keeps losing his siege tank count for not really much purpose, you know, as the Infestors right now don't really have much energy. What's over here just doing so much damage? Single Liberator again. These Liberators are continuing to just pick up damage, and actually the harassing Liberators are turning out to be very good so far for Major. He's going to go into more Liberators now as oh, the Infestors, the corrosive pile's going to come down. He's going to lose one Infestor. This time he keeps a lot more of them alive. Single Fungal comes in on just a few units at the front as Major going to keep on pushing forwards here. And it looks as though there's going to be another Fungal coming in. Big one. But Eliezer not really in position with the rest of his army to take advantage of that as corrosive piles going to come in. A couple of Widowmines going to start going down as well. And getting some good shots off too. Ultras are on the way. So if Eliezer can hold on for just a few more seconds, he's going to have these Ultras, which don't actually have kindness playing yet, so they're not super great straight away here. As you're going to see the corrosive piles continue to do a lot of damage. Eliezer loses his 4th hatchery though. And losing his 4th base, of course, is not going to be great for him. That's going to be a big negative to him right now. As we're going to see these couple of medevacs pulling away now from Major. He's going to get with a few of these units. Here come the Ultras, so finally Eliezer up to the stage of the game where he can finally be a bit more aggressive for himself. Now there's a few Liberators up, already 3 of them. And so the next thing from Eliezer should be to kind of go in towards the kind of the Corruptors to start helping out with this. However, a low number of Liberators can be dealt with by the corrosive piles. Doesn't have that many Ravagers left over though in comparison to what he had a few moments ago. So I'm going to try and take a little bit down here as well. Big stim in. It looks as though Eliezer is going to have to take this fight. Here we go. Widowmine's doing a lot of damage though, and looks as though Eliezer doesn't really want to keep on fighting. There's drop coming back in over here, and actually right now there is no answer to this from Eliezer. So Major going to continue doing damage as he pushes his opponent away up the right hand side of the map. And we're going to see the Marauders looking to get some damage done. They're going to find a couple of Ultras. They'll actually kill them off there. As the Ultras do come back, they do clean up this drop. The 3rd base just surviving at the very end of this here. And we're going to be seeing the 4th base has been taken as well from Major. So 4th base has been taken. I'm just going to see these couple of Marines from Major just moving out onto the map as well. I'm moving out through the center. As we have Marines and Marauders joining up together once again, and well, just Widowmine shots going off and clean up a few. I think that's the Infestors that just went down to this Widowmine. That'd be pretty huge. I think there's no Infestors left on the map again, only one, and it's out through the center. Eliezer are definitely struggling right now, and I mean, Major has the Liberator count to really help himself against Ultras and stuff, so a couple lone Ultras on their own once again. However, they are doing a good job getting through a lot of these Marauders. It's kind of crazy how much a couple of Ultras can kill. Definitely, actually, in the end, kind of being worth their value. Look at this, he's destroying this. Wow, 2 Ultras have just taken down, like, the entire army of Major. As Liberators sieging up once again on the 3rd base and the 4th base, we're going to see Corrosive Bowels to clean those out. As, in the end, a couple of Liberators coming in to help finish up over here, but, man, that was a pretty good fight for them couple of Ultras. They turned that around completely, so that's one of the situations. That's one of the things Major has to be very careful of. These Ultras are very powerful. I see a little bit of a Ling run by. That 4th base is set up as a planetary already, though. There's units towards the 3rd, so I don't think these Lings are really going to be able to do very much here. As we see them already just being cleaned up. Medivacs continue to be chased away. As Major continue to kind of just apply the pressure here throughout. As we see a couple of Ultras going to take some damage. Needs to Corrosive Bile up on these Liberators. Doesn't quite get the kills though, as again Medivac's loading up and just continue to harass around the map as another 13 drones have gone down here in recent times. Finally this Medivac goes down, a few Lings coming in to help out as well. 4 more Liberators being made at a time though from Major, just going to keep this up, just going to keep on going into this Liberator play to try and help clean up, as we see finally a couple more Liberators cleaned out. Elias having to continually kind of rebuild his drone count here. He's also missing a lot of Queens, so he's missing a lot of injects and a lot of potential lava in the game. And that could definitely hurt him throughout as well. He's actually only got 1 Queen on the map right now, so might be worth him investing back into a few of those. I mean, he has some minnows. He's going to see a couple of Ultras right here. Going to run into a Bio Army once again. Liberator sieging up though, has to pull away. Gets onto creep, will pull back. As we're going to see another double drop in towards the natural expansion here. Single Ultra coming in. I'm going to see maybe a Fungal as well. Nope, not needed as the drop moves back pretty quickly. Here's the real issue, right? How do you fight this many Liberators? I don't know. He's going to actually just start fighting through them. Widowmine's going to get quite a bit of damage done there onto the Ultras. 1 Ultra falls. Ravagers are trying to kind of get into position to help Corrosive Bile down these Liberators. I mean, because Eli's been losing so much throughout, he hasn't been able to afford Aspire and the switch into Corruptors and so on. He does win out on the ground here. This drop is still in the back of his natural, though. As we're going to see him continue to maybe attack down this right-hand side, but he has to be so careful. These Liberators, he's just got no answer to them. Corrosive Bile's coming back, and I mean, that is his answer, I guess. The Corrosive Bile is still... But no Corruptor count, and more and more drones going down. Elias is really, really hurting here. I mean, 20 workers lost in the last few moments again. He's going to see a Roach being cancelled as this Liberator just kind of picks off eggs and all sorts. Corrosive Bile coming down, hits once. Needs a couple more of those, though. As the units continue to be cancelled. More Ravagers coming into play as Ultra's chasing down the right-hand side. I mean, until they run to Liberation Zones, they're kind of okay. But here's the problem. Major can kite away. You can just keep on kiting throughout. So, a bit of a weird situation. Seeing a single Ultra down here going to get turned away as well. And again, whatever Elias has tried has just not worked out. And Major is looking very good right now. He's going to, really potentially here take Invasion to a 3-0 lead in the quarterfinals. And True Esports, what a disappointment it would be if they were to bomb out here in the quarterfinals after doing so well all season long. To go bomb out in the quarterfinals like this would be crazy. I mean, from an 0-3 deficit, where do you really go from here? I don't know. It's very tough to say, as we're going to see the Liberator coming into the left-hand side now. Elias has taken this base. We're going to see him losing the upper right base. He's completely out of position to deal with this. A couple of Ultras going to get trapped over here as well. The Liberator count's just so high that there's really no way for Elias to deal with this anymore. Like, initially it's like you can fight into a couple and you can use Corrosive Bile to some extent as well, but it gets to a point where you really need something else that isn't just... you need the Corruptors. You need a way to fight against them all when they siege up. Because that's going to be GG. What a crazy game. Like, let's just look at these units lost there. That's pretty crazy, right? Very crazy 16, 17 minute game. And really starting to make a name for himself. Can he reverse all kill Invasion Esports? If he can, well, he's going to send his team to the semi-finals. If he can't, well, then Invasion are going to go to the semi-finals. Let's find out. To the top right-hand side of the map, guys, from True Esports. Our yellow Terran player, let's hear it. For Soul. That's the bottom left. Is going to be our red Terran player. It is going to be from Invasion Esports. 3-0 up. It is Major. I kind of feel Soul can take down Major, but I don't know if he can take down the entire team. I don't know. I kind of hope it's not an all-kill. But I guess let's see here in the near future. Again, guys, what's up in the chat? Welcome to the stream. If you just joined us, it's the SC2I Team League Season 6 Playoffs Quarterfinal of day number 1. As we have Invasion Esports versus True Esports. And Invasion are leading 3-0 right now. Looking very, very, very good so far today. Major has just been absolutely on point. Let's see if Soul can turn it around, though. Do what Verdi, Guru, and E-Laser could not, which is to put True Esports onto the scoreboard. Reaper opening from both players. Looks as though we're going to have a Reaper expand from both players, which is nice. Nice standard start here to the TVT. No shenanigans, just straight up play to begin with. As we're going to see Command Center on the way down for both players in the natural expansion. So mirrored build so far. Both players have scouted early with an SCV as well. Major just pulling his SCV back in an interesting direction. I wonder whether he's going to proxy something or whether he just wants to try and check for proxies. Looks as though he's going to keep it out here, so that's interesting to see what he uses that for in the near future. Because it's not really in the best of locations to proxy something, you know. Because it's, you know, if this was his opponent's base down here, then it might make sense. But over here, I'm not really too sure, as we see Reaper just checking around, and for the most part, it looks as though these Reapers are going to stay back somewhat defensively to defend in the early stages of the game. Second Reaper actually on the way from Major. This has become more and more popular lately to go into kind of the double Reaper opening in the TVT, just to sort of see what's going on here early on and just sort of see what you can do. As we're going to have a couple of Reapers just starting to move out onto the map towards the upper right-hand side. As we're going to see the factory going to be finishing very soon for Soul as well. Third CC starts for him very early in this, so Soul going into a very quick third command center, and wow, Mage obviously has the same idea. He's got his first CC finished and his next one building in position even. So wow, really greedy from both players right now. Looks like the SCV is being saved as a tank and buffer to kind of soak a couple of shots while these Reapers come in and just give him a bit of an idea of what he might be fighting into in a couple of moments. We're going to see the SCV goes down. We're going to see him start to run in here with these couple of Reapers. Going to be a bit annoying. First Marine is about to go down. A couple of SCVs should end up going down as well. Actually, there's the Reaper. The Reaper's the first thing that goes down. Now 2 SCVs also. A couple of Hellions on the way out, though. Should be able to clean this up in the next couple of moments. And we're just going to be able to see the grenade continue to go off as we see the SCV. Another one just falling here once again as we have the Hellions just coming forwards. And again, just looking to try and clean up this Reaper. So Reaper going to get cleaned up. And yeah, I mean, 2 more Hellions on the way out from Soul. So Hellion-based opening. He's going into his starport now as well in a tech lab. All of this off of this fast 3CC, so intrigued to see where this goes from both players. It'll be very interesting. I mean, at this point, it can go any which way. It's really possible to go any which way at all. This is going to be our only match of the first division tonight, guys. After this, we're going to see how Team SC2 Improve and HD Game are going in their series, in the semi-finals of the Team League in Division 2. We might kind of jump into that series like halfway through or something. I think they are currently, I think game number 2 has already started in that, so we might do that. It sort of depends on when this series ends and just how things are going. As we're going to see these Marines coming forward, pushing those Hellions back. And Hellions are going to be pushed back here, one of them going down. We're going to see a scan into the main base from Major, just having a little bit of a look to see and just confirm. I mean, he already saw the third CC, right? So he just wants to confirm what else is happening. Medevac actually building out of that tech lab starport, which is very interesting, very unique. As we're going to see these Hellions at the front trading pretty nicely as well. So Major's still about 3 workers ahead and is able to build his, doesn't have to float his third base into position either. So that's some extra time he has building workers that his opponent will lose. That's an extra 1 or 2 worker advantage as well. As the Hellions just continue to come out here. Now we are going to see a second factory out of Soul. So, I mean, when we saw this sort of Hellion opening, I didn't mention it, but got to start thinking, are we going to see something like Mech? And that's exactly what we're going to see here. There's Medevac moving out onto the map. Now we're going to see a Raven follow-up. It's just going to be 4 Hellions looking to drop into the main base to try and get some damage done. As we have the couple of Vikings just building up here right now for Major. So a couple of Vikings building up as we're going to see this boost in towards the main base. We're going to see these Hellions begin to drop, begin to unload. We're going to see them SCVs starting to take some damage. So SCV is going to be chased, and actually Major's all stacked up right here. Oh my god, 5 workers only so far. It's almost amazing to think that was only 5 workers, considering how stacked up they all were. Going to try and move around once again. A lot of workers on low health still, and oh, again lined up, 7. Still only 2 more kills, and wow, I feel as though Soul's either been really unlucky or Major's been very unlucky. It really feels as though it's been a very, it really feels as though he should have maybe got more than this. We're actually going to see him still getting more than the natural, though. 11 workers now killed, and he's maybe going to get a couple more as they come back in over to the side as well. And he is going to get a couple more, I think. 13 workers killed in this attack overall. So 4 Hellions for 13 workers. He's also in the third base looking for damage. Gets shut down there pretty quickly, though. He's turned around by a couple of tanks and more. So a couple of Hellions just soften away over to the left-hand side here. The third CC Let's continue to produce. I'm just going to be seeing a few SCVs coming down. Raven is up, and again, it is Mech out of Soul. He's going into a couple of Liberators here early on to try and get some damage going. He's still actually just going kind of Blue Flame Liberator right now. An interesting choice of composition as we see, well, there's attacks starting to come across the map here from Major. What is he going to be able to get up to? A few Vikings out, going to make life a little bit difficult for Soul, obviously. As we're going to see them tanks loading up, and well, these Hellions just out the front. Tank's going to get a couple of shots onto him. He's just going to stick below those Medivacs and, well, look to see what he can shut down. His Vikings still moving forwards as well. A couple of Vikings now on the way up for Soul as well. His Liberators have started to go across the map in a couple of different directions as Hellions are in a lot of trouble here. Soul needs to be careful with what he's doing. Might try and run by. Could be very useful. He's actually going to right now run right into the middle of a Widow Mine, which might not be good if a lot of his Hellions are low on health. As we're going to see Major starting to push up in towards the third base of his opponent's Soul. Does he have an answer to this right now? I'm not sure if he does. He comes in here, the counterattack, looking for some damage. I mean, the Vikings out of position, and so we are going to be able to see Soul doing some damage with the Liberators. But his third base is sieged, and okay, well, he does have tank on the high ground. More tanks on the way out. He's got 2 Vikings and a Raven himself now. He has to find a way to protect this base as he is killing off units, a lot of units with his Liberators. But he's losing so many SCVs as well. He's pulling his SCVs into this to try and push this back with Major. Does he just have a little bit too much? Well, the Vikings are being forced to land here, and Soul, I think, will clean up the rest of these units. So he'll clean this up, he'll push this back. But he lost 29 workers, and he's only killed off 8. Now, he is denying a lot of mining time here on the other side of the map, as Major is actually building Vikings at home, actually building these from scratch just to be able to kind of be able to shut this down. As we're going to see, Soul is actually ahead in army supply. Is there a counterattack potentially in the work here? Well, I don't know. He's 15 workers down. He has to find a way to do something, otherwise he's going to be able to continue to sit in a bit of a tough position. These Vikings coming in, they will clean out the first Liberator. Second Liberator will go down soon as well, as we see once again Widowmine picking off a couple of Hellions. That Widowmine at the front has been so useful. It's on 3 kills, and a lot of those has been on, you know, bigger units such as Hellions and so on. So this has been pretty good so far. As we're just going to see these units just continuing to come in. And again, the Liberator coming out and looking to see what's going on. We're going to see Liberator heading towards the top left side. Major actually has quite a few Vikings now, as I mean, it's mech versus bio, so it's going to be a very interesting situation. This is a composition we don't see all too often anymore. I mean, mech is actually a lot stronger now because the 4s actually kill Liberators, and that's something which was a big problem before. So let's see how this is going to go. As you see, +1 armor on the way up for our bio player. He's Vikings, and high numbers for Major right now as well, just looking to try and shut down anything and any kind of aggression, anything potentially here in the near future as we see them come back towards the main base. A couple of Hellbats going to be loaded up to go drop. Liberator comes back into the third base mineral line. Marines have actually been killing down over here. SCVs are ran back in. Bit of a mistake by Major, taking a lot of damage. 11, 12, 13 workers now going down. And still a couple on the very edge there as Liberator tries to get away, but there's the Vikings. At the same time, some Vikings in the middle of the map from Soul are going to come in and push a medevac back. So Auto turret coming down, going to try and pick off this tank, and he is going to get it. So Soul, nice little pick off there in the center with this small air army, which is, I mean, not really comparable to that of Major's right now, but it's still getting damage done. He's adding on 2 more Vikings, so still committing into these. There's Major. What does he decide to try and go into here? What is his plan? We're going to see a couple of Hellbats dropping off. Whoa, some kills coming down once again. Soul is again getting a lot of damage done. Another 5 workers going down. I mean, time after time, he's getting a lot of damage with these attacks. And we're going to see Hellbats coming in once again, looking for another couple of shots and 7 kills. Now going to go up to a couple more. Could have got some on the gas, but actually is going to be a bit greedy and sort of chased away. Morph into Hellion mode to try and get a few more kills. Oh my god, no. No way! Major! His units, his SCVs all stacked. Only 4 more. Oh man. Look how low this entire mineral line is now. 1 Hellion in this mineral line would have a field day. So we're going to see 4s starting to come out. 4s are a major part of this army nowadays in mech to kind of deal with the anti-air units. As we're going to see these units just collecting together. Major going to start moving out onto the map. Again, he's been focusing himself on Vikings over medevacs, and he's got a lot of tanks and very little bio, really. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes as he starts to push across here. I mean, there's still that Raven up for Soul, and Raven's definitely something which can be very useful as Hellion's pulling over to the left-hand side, looking for another run-by, perhaps, in towards the 3rd base or so very soon. We're going to see Major actually going to start going up to the high ground, where there is, in fact, you know, he is going to be able to kind of attack into this base. PGD coming down, gets taken down very quickly, though. Raven now falls as well. Then Vikings taking a lot of damage, and actually it's going to turn out very nicely for Major. He takes a very good fight here. That base is going to have to be evacuated. Probably just cancel that plan and move it to the right-hand side instead. take the other 4th base. I don't think this base is safe to hold. Looks as though, it looks as though Soul kind of wants to attack into this, though. So, I mean, let's see how this goes. Mage is getting ready to take his 4th base off to the side. The run by from Soul didn't do too much as the Hellbats started to drop on in. Well, I mean, a couple of Hellbats do land there, but Soul's kind of attacking into a lot of siege tanks, and he just doesn't have that much siege tank to support himself, and these tanks are doing a lot of damage. Soul is losing a lot here in desperation to try and keep this base alive. I feel it would just been a bad decision to move off over to the right-hand side here. That would have worked out really, really nicely. As we're going to see these units just collecting up together once again. Plan B Fortress is continuing to fall down, and, well, tank's going to siege up once more. We're going to see this siege tank here from Soul just... You have to be a little bit careful. Tank's continuing to work his way through this planetary. I'm just going to be seeing Soul just looking to maybe kind of push forwards into this attack once more. I mean, he has to clean this up some way, but now he's trailing quite heavily in supply, and I'm not sure if this is going to work anymore for him. Oh, is True Esports really going to get all killed? I mean, there's been some close games, but to be all killed in the quarterfinals really does not reflect on the successful season they've actually had until now. It really does not, as we see these units just collecting together, and, well, Major is going to get ready to attack in here in a couple of moments, I feel, and, I mean, what's he fighting against? A lot of unsieged tanks, a lot of Hellbats. He's sieging a couple more tanks. He's just taking this slowly but surely, to kind of just make sure he's going to be able to starve his opponent out, take down this base. Not going to run into a fight he's just suddenly going to lose or anything. Some tanks from Soul moving forwards. He needs to be careful as we see Vikings coming in. He's actually going to win out the fight in the sky, so Soul going to win something here at least, and we'll take a little bit of air control. Can this help him to push back this army, though? And that's what we've got to kind of still consider here as we see, oh, Red Mine going to get a Viking to begin with. More reinforcements coming through the map from Mage. He's gone back into Viking production once again as well. Soul's still hanging on here. I mean, he is ahead in supply, but he is behind in supply, but he is playing mech. It's a stronger unit composition, so he can afford to be a little bit behind in supply. Economy's still fairly even, but these workers being worked away at again. The lack of a 4th base is what's really going to hurt Soul over time here. The lack of being able to mine from this effectively. And it's going to make life really difficult. We see a big drop from Major. He's done waiting around at the front. He's leaving his tanks there to hold that sort of position. And we are going to be going into this right-hand side kind of dropping. Well, Major's just going to start boosting on in. We're going to see him coming straight into this 3rd base. Soul at the same time is pushing out. He is taking down the tanks at the front, but now the drop's going to pick off a command center in the 3rd, and, you know, Soul kind of cleans up one issue and kind of runs straight into another. As this drop play is going to be very annoying. This natural command center is going to be in a lot of trouble now as well. These Vikings have to be careful. Hellions coming in to try and help. Single tank is sieging. There's a lot of SCVs going down. Soul supply is dropping very, very, very quickly right now. 32 workers killed. And True Esports, this might be their last moments in the SHITL Season 6 as we see them dropping off once again. These Marines and Marauders, they're going to clean up a few of these tanks which are on siege on the low ground. More workers are going down as well. Hellions, Vikings helping to clean up. I mean, he will clean up, but so much damage has been done here, as we'll see now. These units continuing to come across and continuing to try and come in and just take down this Plan B Fortress. This Plan B is going to take a lot of damage, and, well, it's going to be repaired. The Plan B is doing quite a bit of damage. Tanks coming in to help defend, and Soul will push this away. Still just ahead in army supply. For everything he's lost, his army is still strong, and I think he knows this. I think he realizes that if he wants to win this, he has to fight, and he has to fight somewhat soon, because otherwise he's just not going to have a chance. Vikings being targeted down by the Marines as tanks continue to chase forwards. I'm just going to need to see Soul try and get, well, Merc Magic basically with this army right here. That one Liberator, though, could be, well, actually there's 4s, right? So that's not too much of an issue. You'll see a scan here out of Major, just identifies what's coming through the center. Army supplies dead even, upgrades favoring Major, favoring Soul even. Can he still get something done with this attack? He's going to go up to the high ground himself now, but I mean, this Nobler came from his main base. The real issue is that Major has a 4th base off to the left-hand side, so killing this base here isn't going to slow down his opponent very much. There's a tank on the high ground picking up a bunch of worker kills. I mean, Soul is obviously trying to play this safe, and he's now applying pressure himself, which is great, but is it going to be enough picking up, forces of lift on one of these, this one orbital here? He needs so much more than this right now. He needs so much more than this. These Vikings going to go down, so that's a little bit of a win for Soul as well. Still in the lead in army supply, still in the lead in terms of his, upgrades as well. A single armor upgrade ahead as these Liberators going down too. Major's losing a lot. He doesn't have air control, and his lack of air control is really beginning to concern me because he's obviously kind of relying on kind of these Liberators to kind of clean up a lot of this. And if he doesn't have the Liberators, if he can't use the Liberators, then that's really problematic. As Soul says that 4 as well. A bunch of buy up to the top side as Soul is still maybe going to have to find... Can he really find a way to make this work right now? It looks like he might be able to. A lot of SCVs over here. We're going to see Siege up. We're going to see Bio in the center of the map looking to shut down reinforcements. Liberate count getting higher and higher. I mean, I think Soul needs either more Vikings or... Well, not just more Vikings, but just more kind of everything. Here we go. Liberator's going to set up, and well, here's the issue: the fact that there just isn't really the units to take down these Liberators in time. Soul's army is going to get cleaned out, and Major's going to end up winning this fight. Liberator's on siege. They'll clean out those couple of Vikings in the end as well, and we'll see Major clean this up, pushing Soul away. Soul is up onto his 4th base. He is not mining from his 3rd though. His main is mined out, so he's got one single base with 34 workers against 48. I mean, he did kill a lot of workers there. That's something, again, to kind of keep in mind here. It's something still worth keeping in mind, but still not ideal as we see this army just continuing to look around, looking to see where it's going to go. Hellions once again going to go towards the left-hand side of the map. They look to see what they can get up to. Is just going to try and shut down a couple of mules and its SCV also. Soul definitely had his moments in this game, but really just kind of trying to take the 4th base on the left-hand side, the pocket 4th base, I would call it. This 4th base here on this with this high ground. Trying to take that was really his biggest mistake in this game. Cancel the planetary, move it over here, and he would have had such an easier time. Not necessarily super easy. I mean, he's playing mech against Bio, he'd be more spread out. But considering his opponent was on that high ground, it was already kind of too late for him to really try and take this. We see Liberators starting to siege up. Vikings now do control the skies from Major. And Major is looking to be seconds away from another all-kill here in the SC2 ITL Season 6. I believe Invasion started off the season with a Major all-kill, or a very strong performance from Major at least. Now, they are going to be looking to try and, well, start off their playoff run with a all-kill from Major, and it looks as though it's going to be successful too. These Hellbats, these tanks are going down. Soul just doesn't have enough anymore. His supply is really kind of dipping. 57 to 141. Marauders and Marines stim in. This planetary fortress is going to die. The Liberators clean out another Viking as well. Another Liberator sieges up from Soul, but it's just not enough. 9, 10, 11, 13, 14 workers go down. He types out GG. Major takes the all-kill.